Greetings, everyone. I am Pete Pardo from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility, bringing you new album reviews all the damn time. Today we got a big one for you here today in the world of hard rock and metal. This is the sixth studio album from this Swedish band, dropped on April 25th, just a few short days ago on Loma Vista Recordings. It's the sixth studio album from Sweden's Ghost. Skeleta is the name of the album. This follows up Impera, which came out 3 years ago. Let's take a look on the inside. All right, if we pop the disc out, there is a shot of the band. I don't like the fact that they put the only shot of the band right there, because kind of this kind of masks our new Papa, right? Because we do have a new Papa in the band. Papa the Fifth Perpetua on vocals and some instrumentation and songwriting and stuff, along with the Nameless Ghouls, right? A group of nameless ghouls. They don't like to name the rest of the guys in the band. Of course, we know that Papa is Tobias Forge, right? Notable Swedish vocalist, songwriter, and musician. Let's take a look at the booklet here. We've got lyrics, microscopic, I might add, very hard to read, with black and white, and try to read that back page, the back 2 pages, good luck. I was sitting there looking at it this morning. I'm like, what is that? I mean, here you can kind of read this because the letters are nice and white, but on the back 2 pages, they're less white and just, not happening. Maybe if you have the vinyl, you can read it better. I don't know. Anyway, they do, if you go and look into this a little bit more, they do list some folks who do play on the album. Maybe these are part of the Nameless Ghouls. I don't know. They're certainly not part of the touring lineup, but helping in the studio, we got Fredrik Åkesson on lead guitars, of course, from Opeth, right? You got Salem Al-Fakir on keyboards, Martin Sandmark Eriksson rhythm guitars, Max Gran on drums, Vincent Pontare additional synths, and then a whole shitload of people on vocals and choirs helping out with the big full sound. I mean, like, the people in the choir is a list of like over 20. Crazy. Max Gran produced the album, mixed by Andy Wallace, Dan Malsh, Ted Jensen. Also, Gene Walker helped out with a whole bunch of guys helping out with producing this album. So a lot, let's put it this way, a lot of people worked on this album, right? A lot of people played on it, as always. To me, granted, they go and tour and they're a band, right? But you don't really know who's in the band. They put out the albums. You're kind of like, who's actually playing on these albums? So I think of Ghost more as a project that does very, very well than an actual physical, band that's consistent from album to album to album, other than, Tobias as the Papa character. I mean, it's like, to me, this is like a studio project that has morphed into a very, very successful live touring ensemble as well, regardless of who he brings along with him to recreate all these songs. Musically, like most of the Ghost stuff of the past, it's hard rock. I would struggle to call much of this metal. There are some metal moments from time to time. Some of the guitar solos are heavy metal solos. Occasionally you get some heavy riffs and things, but this is how you blend like hard rock and catchies like late 70s, early 80s pop. That's basically what it is. I mean, it's very well done. There's a little bit of prog on here in spots, but not overly proggy, like as much as, a band like Blue Oyster Cult can be prog. In fact, I've noticed, like, a lot of times when we talk about the early Ghost sound, we would bring up like Merciful Fate and certainly Blue Oyster Cult, because I think there were a lot of similarities in like the vocal arrangements and some of the musical arrangements on some of the earlier albums that were very much Blue Oyster Cult driven, especially like the Buck Dharma type stuff. I don't really hear much of that on this album. I think they're really going for their own thing, and I think that's a good thing, that they finally like really found their place. It sounds like Ghost, sort of, but there are also times when I'm listening to this, I'm like, if you didn't tell me this was a new Ghost album, would I have instantly guessed it? I don't know. Maybe not 100%. I think they're coming up with their own individual style here, and I like that. I like the fact that this band wants to kind of forge their own path, doing their own thing, and I think it's all the better for it. So what do we have? We have 10 songs on here, I believe. Yes, 10 tracks, and it's roughly 45 minutes in length, so it's really perfect Length, I think it starts off with, right off the bat, you get like 3 totally accessible songs that just pull you right in. You got Peacefield, which is a great kind of hard rock anthem, flowing with hooks. Sometimes I'm listening to this record, I'm thinking a much more heavier version of like the Night Flight Orchestra. They're just the way they kind of just come up with these just earworms is like incredible. I mean, this band has always been good with that, but they're all over this album. Peacefield is great. Lacrima is also excellent right off the bat. Then you have which I believe was the first single released on the album, called Satanized. Nowadays I'm not sure how successful you're going to get with a single called Satanized, but it's a totally like hooky rock track. It's just really, really good. Those first 3 tracks, Peacefield, Lacrima, and Satanized, just pulls you right into the album. The choruses are outstanding. I always liked his voice. I think it's perfect for this style of music. And, there's just enough thump in the music to kind of keep the rockers interested, which I like. Guiding Lights, that's kind of a softie, not one of my favorites on here. But I totally love De Profundis Borealis. Again, another earworm chorus. This one's got great riffing, great lead guitars, really, really good song. Another one of my favorite tracks on here. Cenotaph rocks as well. Massilia, Amore, another really great track. I think Marks of the Evil One is another of my favorites. That's pretty killer. Another one that I think is among my favorites, and again, it's just a good atmospheric, crunchy, and catchy rock song, is Umbra. Really like that one a lot. Excelsis, the final track, I don't really dig that all too much. That's kind of this kind of floaty, atmospheric, poppy thing that doesn't really, that Richter scale blip, it doesn't really do much of anything like it. Like when you go to the carnival and you go to hit the whatever the hell it's called. This is like one of those ones you go and you hit it and it barely moves. I never like when bands end an album with a kind of like bland, kind of mushy track, which I think Excelsis is for me. I would have rather go out with something strong. Like if this album ended on Umbra, which is a killer chorus and it's rocking and just, that would have been perfect for me. But nobody asked me, right? So I think for me, this album is filled with winners. Again, you listen to it first time, 2 times, you're already humming these things in your head. That's what it's all about, right? So, it made an immediate impression on me. Again, there's some people that just absolutely love everything this band does. There are a lot of people who started following the band early on, and then the poppier they got, they just kind of lost touch with them and just dropped them. And I could totally see that. I personally like what these guys do. Are they one of my favorite bands of all time? No, but I really enjoy their albums. I think that they're onto something. Yeah, sometimes the imagery thing gets a little cheesy and ridiculous, but whatever. It's like, hey, I grew up liking Kiss, so I totally get that sort of thing. So that doesn't really bother me. But I like the fact that these songs are memorable. I like the fact that they rock, and that's the important thing, right? Rock music that makes you want to come back for more, and you want to hear those melodies, you want to hear those choruses. You got throw in some catchy riffs and some blazing lead solos and good amount of atmosphere. It's a winner, man. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 star. I really dig it. Like I said, I would definitely, if you're going to go check out some random tracks, I would definitely check out the first 3, Peacefield, Lacrima, and Satanized. I also think Do Profundis Borealis is great, and Umbra and Marks of the Evil One is really good too. Really, to me, there's only 2 songs I don't really care for much, Guiding Lights and Excelsis, but I could totally see people, especially Guiding Lights, because it's very poppy and very laid back, but it's got a nice chorus. To me, the only one I really don't connect with at all is Excelsis. Maybe it'll grab me at some point, but right now, it's the rest of it, I like it a lot more. So yeah, go check it out. If you've already heard it, let us know what you think down in the comments below, and we'll see you soon here with more reviews, right? Got a lot coming up. Got new Magic Pie, got new Arch Enemy, got new, Eden Song, got new, this is cool, pretty much the new version of the band Spawn of Possession, if you are a death metal fan. This is Retromorphous. That just came in as well. I got a bunch of other things sitting around here. So there's stuff to review. Trust me. The new Far Cry is here as well. So all sorts of stuff. Bring them as we bring them. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also, down below, we got the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page, and the Sea of Tranquility membership options all down there. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon here with more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one. Bye-bye.